Kashmir is beautiful. Any note on Kashmir begins with this line, and why not? The beauty of Kashmir has been acknowledged by nature lovers all across the world.
ऐसा सुना था कि कश्मीर जन्नत है, तो वाकई में कश्मीर जन्नत है।
कश्मीर में अगर बर्फ नहीं होगी तो हमारा गुजरान कुछ भी नहीं होगा। क्यों? पानी की हमें कमी हो जाएगी, हर एक चीज की हमें कमी हो जाता है।
बर्फ इतनी पड़ती थी कि कहीं किसी वक्त 5 फुट, किसी वक्त 7 फुट और 8 फुट से लेकर 10 फुट तक बर्फ पड़ती थी।
फल फूल था, सेब के दरख्त थे, उनको बहुत बड़ा नुकसान हुआ। जंगलों में भी बहुत बड़ा नुकसान हुआ।
चूल्हा कलन खत्म हो गए, अभी ये बाहर आया है, उसकी बीबी है, उसकी अभी पोता आने वाला है। अब सबको चेंजिंग आया है, चूल्हे कलन में भी चेंजिंग आया है।
Better climate means better health, and better health signifies better life. The Indian Himalayan region is one of the most vulnerable mountain systems in the world. Being a mountainous region, we are most susceptible to climate change and global warming. Jammu and Kashmir is the third most vulnerable to climate change in India. Only a naturally balanced climate can rescue us from the trouble we are in. Any further imbalance will make it irreparably dangerous.
We are seeing some of the winters we have seen in the last 1 decade, they were snowless Chalaikilans. Or they were very harsh. So some year it is very harsh, some year it is almost dry. So this unpredictability in the weather, this unpredictability in the climate is basically an indicator of the climate change. This indicates that this is climate change.
यहाँ पर कश्मीर में बर्फ होनी चाहिए, जरूर होनी चाहिए। क्यों? अगर ये नहीं होगी फिर हमारा गुजरान नहीं होता है।
But there is a darker side to the snow too. Sometimes a heavy and premature snowfall causes a lot of damage to chinars and apple trees. That is really challenging for those who are associated with the fruit business.
इस साल बहुत बड़ा नुकसान हुआ। पहली बर्फ आने से पत्तों पर जब बर्फ आई, धोखा मिल गया।
How do climatologists see premature snowfall as a seasonal phenomenon?
Snowfall in first week of November is really unprecedented, and it indicates one of the climate extremes. So we can't basically get rid of the climate change. Climate change is there. Only what we can do is either we can mitigate it, reduce it in magnitude, or the best thing is that we adopt to it. So the climate change adaptation is the best way to mitigate or to reduce the impacts of the climate change on livelihoods, on farming community, on orchard estates.
According to the study published in the journal Climatic Change on 29th July 2020, Jammu and Kashmir Himalayas may see temperature rise of 7 degrees by 2100.
Now, under the changing climate scenarios, what will be Kashmir, what will be Jammu, what will be Ladakh by end of this century? And this is one of the study that our department had done under the Center for Excellence on Glacial Studies. We projected different scenarios. So how will be the Kashmir, Ladakh and Jammu by end of this century in terms of temperature, in terms of snowfall, in terms of precipitation, which are the indicators of climate change. So one of the scenarios, which is the worst scenario, if the people don't care for the environment, if the government does not formulate policies on the mitigating climate change, if the nation states don't agree to the Paris Agreement, what will be the scenario? Scenario will be very, we call it RCP 8.5, so representative concentration pathways 8.5. This is the worst scenario. And we said that the Kashmir under that scenario can be 7 degrees hotter.
Due to rising temperatures, the snow melts earlier than expected. The severest spell of cold, locally called Chilai Kalan, has changed its texture now. Now, it's not that severe as it once used to be.
ये चिलकलान जो है, चिलकलानों का अब नाम ही रह गया है। उतना काम करते नहीं है जितना पहले ज़माने में कर रहा था।
This time around, I think the winter was a little too intense. We had a little more unorthodox snow in Srinagar as well. The period of chill was also very, very intense. The temperatures went down to -8, -8.5 in Srinagar. The ice on Dal Lake also, I don't think I've seen such thick ice on this beautiful lake ever in my life. So this time I think it was a little on the intense side.
But in the longer perspective, definitely we will be experiencing less snowfall and warmer winter months, and that harsh Chilekala, I think it will be the talk of history.
Climate change is a global phenomenon. The Arctic ice is melting fast and the sea level is gradually rising. The experts portray a very scary scene of the future. With the rise in sea level, many countries surrounded by sea may completely disappear. Even many coastal areas may go underwater.
Maybe the cause of fossil fuel burning, or overall some kind of deforestation is also taking place, and then more pollution. So obviously the carbon buildup in the atmosphere has gone up. It has gone more than 410 ppm.
Climate change impacts other spheres of life, causing floods, droughts, and other such natural catastrophes. Temperature is constantly rising, and that's a big cause of worry. Melting of glaciers will cause water shortages in many parts of the world. Melting glaciers narrate a very sad story.
If you look at the glaciers of the Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, as I said, they are receding, they are shrinking at a relatively higher rate as compared to the glaciers in other parts of the country. Now, if you look at I will tell you the Kolhai Glacier, which is the largest glacier in the Kashmir Valley in the Jhelum Basin, is every year on an average melting 20 meters. And if you look at them shrinking in terms of depth, so it is losing mass almost 1 meter, 90 centimeters, 92 centimeters every year.
Where will the solutions come from? How can the problem be addressed? First, locally, then globally. Developed country is not a place where the poor have cars. It's where the rich use public transportation, as 60 people are adjusted in a bus as compared to 5 in a car.
Charity begins at home, so we should start by looking at how much carbon footprint we produce individually, trying to reduce reuse of refrigerators, ACs, and using public commute as much as we can.
If we really want a healthier planet, we will have to mend our ways. We have to be smarter. Kashmir, fortunately, had a vast green area, but we have destroyed a major part of it. Our valley was green, but we have destroyed that greenery. And we have to restore that charm if we and our generations are to survive.
Mindset should always conserve the natural greenery, and wherever you have the space, you should add to the greenery. So this can make a change.
As teenage activist Greta Thunberg said, "Our house is on fire, we know what we have to do to put it out." There is such a thing as moving too slowly. The problem is not just local, it's global. But we have to start from home and take the mission ahead to save our planet. The climate change is not a myth. It's a fact that stares us in the face. Alongside creating new employment avenues for the people at present, we have to think about our future as well. Sooner we take steps, better that will be for us and for our posterity.